In this session, I want to talk to you about scholarship interviews. Do you know that when you're looking for scholarship abroad, you may be asked to do an interview, right? With a school or with a staff of that school. Do you know that something like that can happen? Are you ready? Sometimes when we talk about scholarship and you ask someone like, okay, are you ready for scholarship? They're like, yes, I'm ready, bring it on. And then they're like, are you ready for scholarship interview? They're like, what's that? And I'm like, how can you get ready for scholarship without getting ready for scholarship interview? Now, let me break it down for you. It is not compulsory that before you get scholarship, you have to do an interview. It is not compulsory. However, a lot of time, an interview may be requested of you. What does this mean? You are not sure whether you are going to have an interview or not. And of course, just like any other thing in life, it is better for you to prepare for it and it never shows up than it shows up and you are not prepared. True or false? I'm sure the answer is true. So, a scholarship interview simply means that the school wants to talk to you. But, that's a very simplistic way to put it. The school wants to talk to you. However, it's very important because most of the time, it's like, let's say there are 5 scholarships. They may just shortlist like 10 or 20 people. And they are going to interview each of you. What does this mean? The interview is going to be a deal breaker, whether you're going to get a scholarship or not. So meaning that at that point, all the people that were shortlisted for interview means that, well, your CGPA has been looked at, it's fine. Your AC has been looked at, it's fine, and all that. Now let's see what you can say to us. Let's percuss your brain. And one thing people don't know is that passing an interview is less about what you know and more about the craft of passing that interview, the craft of knowing exactly what to do. Do you know that, for example, there have been people that don't know how to look into their camera, and because they never one day prepared for scholarship interview, nobody ever told them that they should look at the camera. Especially in this era where everything is done online. Even before then, most of the interviews you are going to have is going to be online. Some may be physical, but most are online. Why? The school you are applying to is abroad, right? Most likely is not in your country. So if they want you to do in-person interview, meaning you have to come to the school, that means you have to first get visa, travel to the school. So that's really most times not feasible for an international student. So what this means is that admission committee often requests for online interview. Now, online interview now has its own tricks. And one of the tricks I want to talk to you about today is the idea of looking straight into the camera. If you're not a camera person or you're not used to making videos, this may be harder than it looks, because it's like, yeah, look into the camera, yeah, but on the interview, where are you going to look at? How are you going to handle it? And that's just one out of several tricks when it comes to interview. Do you know that you may speak so well, answer the questions so well, just the fact that you were not looking at the camera, aka you were not looking at the interviewer, right? They'll just be like, he's timid, she's timid. That's not the kind of person you want to admit. You have to realize that before you get to the interview stage, it means that your documents are okay and every other thing, So it's like interview is usually the deal breaker, meaning that a lot of attention is placed on what you do during that interview. And many people have gotten to the stage where they are following up with a scholarship, right? And the interview is at the stage where they drop off. Why? Because they did not ace that interview, that scholarship interview. So after we looked at this thing, this is why we made it compulsory that anyone who is going through the Advantage Scholarship School have to be prepared for the interview, right? So a Advantage Scholarship School, of course, you know who is talking to you. My name is Dr. Linda Iheme, and I'm an educational consultant with Vantage Migration, right? So we run Vantage Scholarship School, where we teach you exactly how to secure admission and scholarship abroad, right? Okay, now that you know. So with Vantage Scholarship School, we prepare you for interview. That's one of the things we do. We teach you some of the things you should look out for, how to prepare for the interview, what should have happened before the interview, what will happen during the interview. Now, with our updated program, we also go the extra mile of giving you interview simulation. So it's like you're going to see someone who is being interviewed for a scholarship, and you're going to listen to the person and understand how that person is able to ace their own interview. That way, it's not just like you're going to hear, but you will also see how other people are doing it. You know, I'm a firm believer on, you know, you learn, you practice, you see other people's own. Then it makes it easier for you, right? So this is one of the advantages of going through the Vantage Scholarship School. Like, if I keep talking about some of the things that we do, Advantage Scholarship School, sometimes, see, you're going to get tired of me because there are different aspects. So you can see that someone can actually prepare for scholarship for like 2 years, right? And finally, they are shortlisted for this scholarship. And after the interview, what happens is that they are going to miss out on the scholarship, aka they will miss out on the admission, and they are going to start their process all over again. At that point, what is haunting you is the fact that you have not been trained, and unfortunately you may have to spend another 1 year or 2 years at home. Most times when people are waiting for scholarship, they just try to do something, you know, to fill in the space. But not just most times most people don't spend that time, you know, meaningfully. Most people. So would you rather do timbom while spending large number of years where you are now, or would you rather get trained so that when you do it once and for all? Do you get? So that even if something goes wrong, because you know the expectation, you will know how to manage it. All right? Because you know the expectation, you will know how to manage it. So if you are listening to this and you have a question for me, please send it inbox. I won't be staying long on this live session. Send it inbox. All right? And if you don't follow me on Facebook, you should do that. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should do that. If you don't follow me on YouTube, you should do that. On all these platforms, I am there on social media as Dr. Linda Iheme. Of course, make sure that you are joining the right page, right? Or the verified Instagram account, or the YouTube that has over 20-something thousand followers right now, or subscribers rather. My dear, there are many more things for you to learn. There are many more things for you to learn. If you are wondering how to join our Vantage Scholarship School, we always say, first of all, go through the what? You know, go through the free and detailed info session at www.vantagemigration.ca. This is the place where you're going to get all the information that you probably want to ask me inbox. And of course, if at the end you decide that you have more questions to ask, feel free, you know, send it to me. Send it to me and I'll be very happy to respond to you inbox. Right? So scholarship interviews are usually deal breakers. They are usually deal breakers. And one way for you to get trained is for you to what? Go through the Vantage Scholarship School. All right? Till I see you again, my dear. Take care. Bye.